It's May 31st. I'm Ezra Levant, and you're watching Battleground. Hello, everybody. It's Friday. It's my favorite day for all the obvious reasons. And one of the reasons is I really like doing this weekly live chat. I used to do it every single day at noon. I didn't mind taking the hour off, but I just traveled so much, so it was impractical. This week alone, I was on the road a lot, but I love the Fridays. It sort of feels like a good way to end the week. And what I do on Battleground is I often just talk about subjects that I either didn't have a chance to go deep on in my nightly show, or things that are just a little less serious, or just things I just want to chew over a bit. I like to play video clips, but also I really like the banter with the fans and the not fans on the Super Chat. That's what YouTube calls that little box on the right there. Obviously, you can make any comment you like, but if you chip in a few dollars, it puts the comment in a bright highlighted color, appends it to the top of the screen, and we here at The Rebel get 70% of the funds. So it's a win-win-win all the way around. I want to tell you, I've been buying websites today. And do you know what I mean by that? Not the actual websites, but the domain names. And oh my God, I want to tell you what they are, because we have such a great story we're working on. I'm bursting. I'm bursting most of the time, but, and I shouldn't have said that because that's a tease. I'm not going to reveal it until we're ready, but we have an international investigation going on. International, intercontinental. And we're going to break it. And it's a story only The Rebel will do. It will outrage you. It will make you laugh. And the websites that I bought will make you chuckle. And let me leave it at that. I know that's not fair to do what I've just done. I've tantalized you. I promise you'll be the first to know. What I want to talk about instead is Canada's second largest embarrassment in Justin Trudeau's cabinet. Trudeau himself being the greatest embarrassment. Who would you say is number two? Would you say it's Marion Monsef, who lied on her refugee application form and is in cabinet despite being an immigration fraudster? Would you say it's Seamus O'Regan, whose former colleagues call him Shameless O'Regan, who is possibly the dumbest member of cabinet other than the aforesaid Marion Monsef? I think the most embarrassing member of Canada's cabinet, and let me know in the comments if you disagree, is Catherine McKenna. Sheila Gunn Reid coined the nickname Climate Barbie, but I think that's too kind, because who doesn't like Barbie? Barbie at least is inoffensive. Barbie doesn't shout at you all the time. And sure, Barbie may not be known for her intellectual prowess, but she's generally regarded as nice. Like, Barbie's not mean or naggy or shouty. But I like the more recent appellation of Old Yeller, because she's just taken to shouting about the carbon tax in a way that I think is not only just driving down support for Trudeau, so I like it, because shouting about paying a carbon tax doesn't work at the best of times. Doesn't work when gas is $1.60 per liter, and just some rough math in my head, that's about $6 a gallon for our American friends. David, I see your super chat. I'll get back to you in a second. But that shouty, shrieky, naggy tone, I think it particularly irritates guys, I think. And that may be a reason for the huge gender gap in Justin Trudeau's popularity. When we hear, I call her the Canadian climate screech owl, says Prim Palloway. Climate banshee, says Proud Boys Calgary. You guys are funny. Listen, men and women perceive things differently. I think that there is a reason why there is a gender gap. Typically people say, oh, the Conservatives have a gender gap. Women won't vote for them. Okay, that's one way of looking at it, but you could also say the Liberals have a gender gap. Men won't vote for them. That's sort of what it means if more men than women support one party or another. And I think the reason that Trudeau has a gender gap is threefold. First of all, the male labor participation rate is higher than for women, so men are still usually the traditional breadwinner. And so anything that, breadwinning dads care about: taxes, regulations. Is he going to cancel another pipeline project or an oil sands project? That's a dad issue, because dads need to work. Dads need to pay the bills. Dads probably pay the taxes. Number two, men can detect a male feminist a mile away, because it's a sneaky, deceptive, like any guy who says, I'm a male feminist. Every other guy says, oh, you're just trying to get into her pants by saying you're a male feminist. You're just a predator who is claiming to be a male feminist as a form of deceit. So, I mean, no normal guy says, I'm a feminist. No normal guy does that. A normal guy who actually does respect women will treat women well, will maybe even open the door for them, for example, will certainly come to their aid if there's some jeopardy. A real man who really does respect women doesn't go around saying, hey guys, I really respect women. Did I mention I respect women today? Hey, I don't know if I told you today, but I'm a male feminist. If you're running hot on that, it's like if someone would go around saying, you know what, I really don't mind black people, I really like them. If someone just kept saying that all the time, you'd say, yeah, dude, we're all sort of that way, but you're the only one who's running really hot on that. So my point is, the number one reason I think men in Canada don't like Trudeau is because he's destroying what men do, which is work and earn a living for their families and raising taxes and regulations and just all the stupid things. And they see he's incompetent in managing any part of our Canadian government, foreign affairs being an obvious example. The second reason is just on a personal level, people see Justin Trudeau, men see Justin Trudeau as a pickup artist, as a sneaky male feminist like Jian Ghomeshi, who actually got a women's studies degree, but it was just a trick to get women to put their guard down, and then he would assault them sexually sometimes. The third reason is because of Catherine McKenna. When you have someone who has really never had a real job in their whole life. I mean, Catherine McKenna has been an activist lawyer at the UN. That's not a real job. So Catherine McKenna doesn't know anything about anything other than doing the same jet set circuit that Trudeau's always done. And when she's shouting at people, I don't know if you can find this, Martin. There was a video, we've used it before. I think it was on CBC or CTV, when Megs, the farmer Megs, you know, there's a Saskatchewan farmer, MEGZZ, I think is her nickname, who was on, I think it was CBC, and Catherine McKenna said, and she said, well, this carbon tax is going to hurt my farm. And Catherine McKenna said, well, just farm smarter. And you know, if you, maybe you can find that clip. We've used it before. I don't know if you can find that one. But anyhow, I've just described it to our viewers. Martin, if you can get that, please do. So Farmer Megs, who's a young woman farmer, I think in Saskatchewan, she's actually running for the Conservative nomination now, was telling, it was either CBC or CTV, how hard the carbon tax is going to make farming, because farming is energy intensive. You've got to move those tractors. And Catherine McKenna, who has never had a real job in her life, said, well, you just need to farm smarter. You need to study smart farming, smart cultivation or whatever. And she's, I mean, I don't know if she's ever even been to a farm. I think she's the kind of inner city know-nothing who would say, well, food, duh, where does food come from? The grocery store, duh. So that's irritating when a jet-set, know-nothing, do-nothing woman, Catherine McKenna, says to a real farming mom, just farm smarter. But I think there's something. Oh, here, play it. It looks like they got it. Go ahead. I just want to show you what I mean. Look at this.
Biggest challenge as a farmer for me is going to be the carbon pricing, because agriculture is pretty much the only industry where we don't get to pass on that additional cost to our operation. So carbon pricing is going to be an extremely challenging bill for a lot of farmers to be able to deal with.
She can't raise the price of her grain or she'll be forced out of the market. So, like, maybe this explains why you've got all the prairie premiers basically saying, or most of them saying, we don't want a carbon price. How do you win over farmers like her?
And look, if anyone understands the impacts of climate change, it's farmers. Our system will give more money back to residents of that province than they will pay, and it will create the incentives for innovation. And I've seen amazing innovations in farming, for example. zero-till agriculture, using less water, using smart technologies, artificial intelligence to...
Smart technologies. Come on, Megs. Come on, Farmer Megs. Just do smarter cultivation. Duh. I'm in Ottawa, know nothing. You're complaining. You say you can't. Just farm smarter. You stupid farmer. Farm smarter. Okay, we're raising the carbon tax some more. Well, farm even smarter now. Oh my God, you're raising the carbon tax some more. Yeah, and you're just going to have to farm a little bit smarter. What? Oh, and farmers are the one, they know. A farmer just said she doesn't like the carbon tax, and so I'm going to say no. Farmers know this. Farmers know they're going to make money off this deal. You know, that is irritating for anyone. But there's something especially naggy to have a shouty woman who's never done anything. Like that farmer Meg's there, I think that's her nickname, Meg's Reynolds. She's a farm woman. She's done more in her life than I have. She's actually done some real work. Catherine McKenna has probably done less real work in her life than Justin Trudeau, which is quite saying something. And so that's my third point. Men don't like Trudeau because, number one, he's destroying what it means to be a man, which is to provide for your family. He's ruining the economy, he's ruining jobs. Number two, men see that Justin Trudeau is a slimy pickup artist who uses his fake feminism as a trick. He used to use it as a trick to pick up girls. Now he uses it as a trick to pick up girls' votes. But the third reason is because Catherine McKenna is a shouty, naggy woman who knows not of what she speaks. You saw it there against another working woman, Megs Reynolds. But I think when millions of Canadian men are told by someone shouting at them to work smarter or make better choices and pay the tax, that explains why Justin Trudeau and the Liberal Party's approval with male voters, last I checked in Angus Reid, was 22%. 22%. 78% of men, I'm going from memory, I might be off by a percent or two. It's under 25%. You'd have to find 5 guys. Are you voting Liberal? No. Are you? No. Are you? No. Are you? No. Are you? Yeah. You check 5 guys, 4 of them won't, and I think it's Old Yeller. And I'm going to have a lot of clips from Old Yeller today, but first I want to answer a quick question from David Anderson, who says, Ezra, is Kurt Schlichter part of the Rebel? His stuff is great. I love Kurt Schlichter. He's a good egg. I regard him as a friend and an ally, but we don't pick up his videos anymore, and not because I didn't like them, it's just from a ratings and commercial point of view, they weren't economic. But I pretty much agreed with every word the guy says. He fights hard, he's got a great sense of humor, and he's very prolific. I can't believe he does so much journalism, even though his full-time job is being a lawyer. So I think he's amazing, and he's got novels coming out all the time, and I told him, in fact, that when he has new books out, he should always talk to us because we'll email that out. All right, so enough preamble. I've been talking about Old Yeller for 13 minutes, and I want to show you the awful, terrible, no good week that she's had. Now, it started when she went to St. John's, Newfoundland, and the way she talked about it, it sounded like it may have even been her first trip there, which I find, surely a cabinet minister has been to St. John's, the capital city of Newfoundland and Labrador. A great city, an amazing city, a historic city, a beautiful city, a culturally unique city, a visually stunning city. I love St. John's. It's hard to get there. It's expensive to get there, but it's amazing. The way she talked about her visit there made it sound like it was her first trip there. I find that hard to believe, but it sounded that way. And wouldn't you know it, she met with St. John's leading Liberal activist, a CBC government comedian named Mark Critch. And Critch took her to a pub. That's what you do in St. John's. Probably has more bars and pubs per square foot than pretty much any other city other than perhaps New Orleans. And, go to a pub, that's fine. And you know what, have a drink, that's what you do in pubs. And you want to get drunk on your own time, make sure you have a taxi to get you home, make sure you don't make a scene, but you want to get a little tipsy. I don't care. I'm not a Puritan, I'm not a prohibitionist, but don't videotape yourself getting drunk. You're a cabinet minister, you're part of the Queen's Privy Council. Have some goddamn dignity. And if you have a staffer there that you brought along to film you in a bar, you're just weird? Because was it going out with a buddy, or was this some attempt to humanize you? And these human earthlings are in this pub drinking a fermented liquid. I will do the same with these humans and be like them. And you brought a cameraman along? Well, that is exactly what Catherine McKenna did. And I want to share, she's got 24 people on her social media staff. I don't even know how that's possible. And you would think that one of the 24 would say, hey, boss, you were drunk in a bar, and that's cool, but let's not memorialize that in a Government of Canada video. And maybe you're drunk tweeting, maybe it's like drunk dialing an ex. Not good, not good. Not one of the 24 people in her communication staff thought that, or if they thought that, they surely lacked the courage to tell the boss. I don't know, does she bite their head off if they dissent? Mark Critch, the CBC government journalist who was with her, maybe he arranged this. Maybe he thought this would really humanize her. But without further ado, let me play for you the extended version of Catherine McKenna getting drunk with a government journalist from the CBC, having a staffer record it, edit it, post it online in her government account, and only after enormous mockery was this deleted, but not before. It was saved by some internet user. Here is drunk Catherine McKenna. It ain't pretty, people.
So here I am at Christian's Pub in St. John's, and you won't believe who I have here. Mark Critch here, and I've got Chef Lukey. And I got screeched in, so it's really amazing. But the funny thing is, so you think like it's amazing, you got screeched in, you hear all these facts about Newfoundland, and what the hell are they doing now? They're fighting about the facts about Newfoundland, and do they really get them right? So what's the discussion now, boys?
What we were talking about is St. John's, the oldest city in North America.
And there's some debate about that.
He was saying that it could be Missouri, but we firmly believe it is because there's nobody from Missouri here.
But you know, I actually gave them some real advice. I said that if you actually say it louder, we've learned in the House of Commons, if you repeat it, if you say it louder, if that is your talking point, people will totally believe it. So just go it. St. John's, oldest city.
Perfect. It's on the sign right now. You don't have to change the thing.
You don't have to change the sign. Thank God.
Awesome. Perfect.
Anyway, I will say I love being in St. John's. I love the passion of Newfoundland and Labrador and the screeching in the ceremony, which anyone who's from the place is like, God forbid, here we go, McKenna's coming in, all these, out-of-towners doing the screeching. It was really great. It was really awesome, and I love being here. People are passionate, and they love this city, and they love this province, and that is what we need more of in Canada.
Oh my God, what a loser. And you know what? I love St. John's. I've been there a few times. It's a little bit hard to get out there. And I can tell you exactly what I love about it. I won't take your time now. I love the houses. I love the colors. I love getting out from the city, driving around. I love going to Gross Moor, and I love going to Lanso Meadows. I love the people. I love the food. I love the fish. I love the accent. I love how friendly they are. I mean, I can tell you exactly what I love about Newfoundland. I love the sense of humor. You're stuck on a rock together for 400 years. You got to get a sense of humor. I like most Newfoundlanders that I know. Rex Murphy being one of the smartest men I've ever met. Great sense of humor too. And Mark Critch, for all his flaws, I can tell he's a good man. He's a leftist, but he's got a sense of humor. He is funny 49% of the time. But even he had the good sense there to be sober and calm on camera while manic drunk McKenna was ranting. And what did she say about, I love their passion, they're great, just nothing. She's just manic and drunk. And Mark Critch, I think, was thinking, this ain't right. You're coming across as drunk or crazy, or drunk and crazy, and a little bit of both. And that was just really bad. And that was professionally edited, and they actually had a soundtrack there. Imagine thinking the Canadians wanted to see that. Like it's like some of those drunken fraternity girl Twitter, found footage that are like horrifically embarrassing, that these sorority girls wake up the next day and say, oh my God, how can I get that off the internet? I've got to take that off the internet to save my reputation. Ooh, I didn't know I did that when I was drunk. Catherine McKenna and her staff thought that was a good thing to put up on the internet. That girl's got problems, but I want to play for you the most telling part of that clip, because most of it was just embarrassing. Drunk girl in Newfoundland thinks at least she didn't get on a speaker and start dancing. I bet she dances like Elaine from Seinfeld. There's a lot to be embarrassed about. Listen, none of us are at our best when we're drunk. Well, maybe not nobody, but I certainly wouldn't have put that online had that been me. I do enough things when I'm sober that are embarrassing. Not that I'm a big drinker, but there was a confession in there, wasn't there? There actually was some political content there. And here, we'll play that short clip. It's when she talks about how she pretty much knows that even if she's full of it, just raise the volume and shout. Look at this part.
I actually gave them some real advice. I said that if you actually say it louder, we've learned in the House of Commons, if you repeat it, if you say it louder, if that is your talking point, people will totally believe it. So just go.
People will totally believe it. There was one time, there was this farmer girl named Megs, and she was saying that the carbon tax was just really hurting the farm. And I thought, I don't know anything she's talking about, but I know to say smart farming and clean farming and new technology farming, and I just knew, say it loud and keep saying it, and it totally worked. Play that clip again from the bar. Play that clip again, that short one there.
I actually gave them some real advice. I said that if you actually say it louder, we've learned in the House of Commons, if you repeat it, if you say it louder, if that is your talking point, people will totally believe it. So just go.
Yeah, sister, people are not totally believing it. When you said it louder and hollered at Meg Reynolds that she just farm smarter, duh, hello, smart, make better choices as a farmer. People didn't totally believe it. They totally believe that you are, not even Climate Barbie is too much of a compliment. I don't even like saying Climate Barbie anymore, because I got nothing against Barbie. Old Yeller, that's still sort of funny, but just really, really bad judgment. And so I wonder, the 24 staff in her communications department, did not one of them say, yeah, that's not a good clip to put out there, boss? Or what, is it the opposite? It's not that they're afraid of her, she's afraid of them, some stupid idea, and she doesn't have the judgment to take it down. Well, she got murdered online for that horrendous, oh my God, that is so bad. That is like what your enemies would leak against you in the final moments of a tight campaign. She leaked that against herself. And Mark Critch, who is as liberal as they come, could you not feel him sort of cringing? Like, first of all, just his tone of voice. And I love it here. I love it here. I'm not drunk. I love you. And she was like that. She was like sorority girl, first time away from home, way too many drinks, and Mark Critch was like her date who said, yeah, I had a drink too, but you're a little crazy. And so did you know, play the clip again, play the first and long clip, And just cut it off after Mark Critch, because I want you to look at the difference between your, I love you, man. Did I tell you I love you? No, really. I mean, I love you. So she's crazy drunk like a sorority girl away from home who's had too much tequila. And then Mark Critch, who is feeling that things are going off the rail, so he's trying to lower the energy. And so notice how quiet he is and how sober-minded. Of course he's had a drink, but he's not like a sorority girl first time away from mom's home, so he can handle his one drink and he's not, getting wasted. Martin, play the clip again and just stop it after Mark Critch comes in. Take a look.
So here I am at Christian's Pub in St. John's, and you won't believe who I have here. Mark Critch here, and I've got Chef Lukey, and I got screeched in, so it's really amazing. But the funny thing is, so you think like it's amazing, you got screeched in, you hear all these facts about Newfoundland, and what the hell are they doing now? They're fighting about the facts about Newfoundland, and did they really get them right? So what's the discussion now, boys?
What we were talking about is St. John's, the oldest city in North America.
And there's some debate about that.
He was saying that it could be Missouri, but we firmly believe it is because there's nobody from Missouri here.
But I actually gave them some.
Yeah, I mean, that was slightly funny, but it was very calm. And I think the two men there, and maybe they had a drink, but I think they can hold their liquor a little bit. I think they were saying, we gotta lower the energy here. We just gotta calm this girl down because she is getting wrecked. What do you think? I just want to read a few super chats before I show you the damage control that Catherine McKenna engaged in. And Martin or Alex, just send me an email if I missed one. Observer Dude chipped in £2, said, have you seen the Batwoman trailer on YouTube? No, I haven't yet, but I'll watch that. Thank you for the tip. Primpel08, maybe they were trying to make her look human by showing drunk Barbie. Maybe one or more of her staff did it to spite her. I don't know. I mean, yeah, the whole idea of going to a bar was, and being screeched in and kissing the fish and whatever, kissing the cod. I get that as humanizing her, and maybe, but to have her just ranting, drunk, semi-coherent, I love you, man, I love you. Did I tell? And then and what we learned is just shout it louder and louder and louder and louder, and people will be persuaded. Like that's off. If the plan was humanize her, that went off plan pretty hard. David Day, is there a level above cringe? How about wince? Yeah, that really, really was tough. Kelly Day says, thank you for the humor today, Ezra. If we don't laugh about McKenna, who has a lot of power, we will surely cry. Thank you, Kelly. Great to hear from you. And I have fond memories of when you came to Manchester a few months ago and performed at Tommy's Panodrama premiere. So thanks for staying in touch. Proud Boys Calgary, I wonder if she's fake drunk after a single sip of tequila. Also, Old Yeller was a good boy. Climate Banshee. Yeah. I really don't know. Let me just read a couple more here. The Corker says, Newfoundlanders and Labradorians can't be very smart. They voted Liberal in the provincial election. I think they're pretty smart there. I think they're pretty smart. I said moments ago, literally the smartest human being I've ever met is Rex Murphy. I mean, I guess there's different ways to be smart, right? He's word smart. He's language smart. He's sense of humor smart. He's literature smart. I suppose there's other ways of being smart. Newfoundlanders I know are quick and clever. Voting Liberal may be foolish. It maybe is a blind spot, but I'm not going to say stupid. David Anderson says, I think every cabinet minister should be filmed in a bar after a dozen shots or so. Then we'd find out what we really know. In vino veritas. That's right. That's Latin for from out of wine comes the truth. Yeah. Isn't that so? Hypatia says, babies die every week in the USA from routine infant circumcision. Look up Eric Klopper's sex and circumcision presentation on YouTube. All right. That's a bit off topic, and I just read it out. Thank you for making that, but I'm not going to go down that tangent right now. Let me get back to Old Yeller, Climate Barbie, Climate Banshee. That was a really bad video. And so what do? I mean, the CBC sort of helped her get into that mess, right? Mark Rich was there. Well, CBC helped her get out of it. So she went on the CBC, and this strong, bold woman who was a quota token appointee in the first place flipped the script and said, I'm just a girl. Stop being mean to me because I'm just a girl. You're not mean to girls, are you? So she went from being manic, yelling, drunk, to, I'm just a girl. Here, I'm going to play, this is en français. I don't even know why it was en français. I mean, the original embarrassment was in English. Again, really weird communication strategy. If you screw up in English, why are you correcting in French? Like, who's making the decisions there? It's so weird. I think she's a really weird person. But here, let's play the clip, and you'll notice that a rebel makes a cameo appearance. Take a look.
La ministre de l'Environnement est une cible de choix ces jours-ci.
I recommend pulling one plastic bag over your head and tying it around your neck. Couldn't put a value on that. Mais alors c'est horrible. Et c'est pas seulement horrible pour moi, parce que moi j'ai des enfants, j'ai 3 enfants. S'ils voyaient ça.
I called Catherine McKenna Climate Barbie.
Les militants de la droite l'avaient déjà surnommée la Barbie du climat.
I just would like a commitment that you will not call me names.
Les attaques se sont intensifiées en plein débat sur la tarification du carbone.
Il y a des gens qui détestent vraiment l'action sur les changements climatiques, mais aussi ils détestent les femmes. Alors ça vient, c'est vraiment étrange, mais il y a une connexion.
I don't know if I don't know a lot of French, but that's threats and hateful tweets. You know, there are billions of people on the internet. There's 7 billion people, 7.5 billion people in the world. More than 2 billion of them are on Facebook. I don't know. Altogether, I'm going to say half the world's on the internet. And everyone can make a comment. Many of them are anonymous. I mean, just on our own YouTube page, we've probably had close to 1 million comments. 90% of them are anonymous or pseudonymous. And I don't read them all, but I could in any given moment. In fact, just in the live chat right now, if I wanted to, I could find a variety of insults against me. Some of them probably even racist or whatever. Yeah, welcome to the world of the internet. So to find some random tweet somewhere and read it, was she crying? Was she crying? I think she was. I don't think she was really crying. I think she was sort of fake crying, as children do, I think. And she said, "Oh, I have 3 daughters, and this is, you know." And who was the originator of Climate Barbie? Well, you saw my friend Sheila Gunn Reid, a rebel. So it wasn't. She implied it was misogyny or sexism. No, actually, it was Sheila. It was Sheila who came up with the Climate Barbie. It wasn't me. It was Sheila. Hey, does climatebarbie.com still work? Let me check. climatebarbie.com. I'm just checking this. Yeah, it still works. And how about climatebarbie.ca? Does that still work? Yeah, it does. Yeah. So, oh, you know what? Can you go to my video at climatebarbie.ca? I mentioned at the very top of the show that I've just bought a couple of domain names that I'm excited about. Can I indulge you with a tangent here? Can you load up climatebarbie.ca? And can we just play a little bit of that? Let me know when you got that ready. Look, Climate Barbie is a... Oh, we got it? Okay, just go ahead, jump right in.
Canadian. She's very well educated, but she sounds like a valley girl, those sort of surfer girls from the San Fernando Valley. She's like totally awesome. She talks like this, totally. And she has that thing that all the Kardashians do.
Climate action makes business sense. Business sense. Business sense. Business sense.
Wait, what's that? Well, that's called vocal fry. It's what the Kardashians do.
Just kind of like my, motto.
Kim and Chloe just don't get it.
Believe it or not, there's a scientific term for the way a Kardashian speaks, and it's vocal fry.
I'm not making fun of Catherine McKenna because she's a woman. That's why Justin Trudeau says she was appointed. Margaret Thatcher didn't talk that way, and Indira Gandhi didn't talk that way. That's a Kardashian thing to do, and she was appointed by Trudeau because she is a woman, and she's boasting about how she's bringing in carbon taxes, and she's telling Donald Trump that if Trump knew anything about business, he'd be bringing in a carbon tax too. It makes business sense. Thanks for watching. Click.
I can't even do that, vocal fry. I can't even do that. It's not just a vocal fry. She's got some weird. I think she was born in Canada. It's not a speech impediment. I'm not making like some people. She's born in Hamilton. Some people have a speech impediment, and my sympathies are with people with speech impediments. Those can be very heavy burdens, and I don't think I would make fun of someone with a stutter or a speech impediment. That's not what this is. And it's not even a foreign accent. You know, the saying, if someone has a foreign accent, that means they speak one more language than you. I think that's if someone has an accent, then they got two languages, right? I don't have two languages. I'm not making fun of an accent, foreign accent. I'm not making fun of a stutter or a speech impediment or a slur. I'm making fun of someone who has made the choice to speak like she's from the San Fernando Valley, and she ain't, with a vocal fry. It's incredible. And she just can't help herself. And, when you're a woman in politics, it's absolutely tough. And when you're a man in politics, it's absolutely tough. And when you do something stupid and embarrassing, like go to a bar and get drunk and get all shouty and start telling embarrassing stories about how you just shout and lie in question period. And I can only imagine what was left on the cutting room floor. I mean, who knows? Did she start talking about ex-boyfriends or something? Did she start just saying, Mark, Chris, I really love you, man. I really love you. Like, did she really get, was she a loving drunk? Was she an angry drunk? She looked like she was manic. I can only imagine what the producer's cut, what the unedited, full, extended cut was like. Oh boy, if that's what made it to air. Now that was humiliating, she took it down. But instead of owning up, or instead of just shutting up, she called the CBC and said, someone tweeted something really mean about me. And I'm a tough as nails, politician. I go head to head negotiating foreign treaties. But when someone on the internet says something mean, especially that sexist woman hater who came up with Climate Barbie, okay, fine. It was another woman named Sheila Gunn Reid, but still, she hates women. So can you guys stop being mean to me? Sorry, you can't have it both ways, sister. You can't say the sisters are doing it for themselves. You can't be, we can do anything guys can do. We're tough. We're Margaret Thatcher, Indira Gandhi, Golda Meir. Woo! Oh my God, someone had a mean tweet. I'm going to go and have a tearful, stop being mean to me moment on the state broadcaster en français. Like just the bad judgment just never stops. Holy moly. Have I missed any super chats? Have I covered them? Just want to make sure I covered the super chats. So, a no good, very bad week, that's for sure. And you'd think, why not just turn off your phone? Why not just put the phone down for a bit? Just stop tweeting. just take a break from it. Now, I mean, I know I should take that advice too, but I suppose you could say I'm in the media business and Twitter is one of our media. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, that's sort of what we do for a living. You could say that me tweeting snide or snarky or goofy or silly remarks all day, you could say, yeah, that's an addiction or that's a bad habit, but you could also say, well, that is sort of what the Rebel is about. It's not what being a minister of the Crown is about. I mean, you do your job, and then occasionally you send messages to the world about your job. You don't have to give your opinion on everything all the time, and it doesn't have to always be about you. Catherine McKenna steps, I don't know what the official Liberal message of the day was, but whatever it was, whatever their team of communications whizzes, campaign whizzes thought they would talk about that day, nuh-uh. It was that drunk sorority girl saying, woo, I'm drunk, I'm so drunk, Mark. Can we play the first part of that again? I'm so drunk, Mark. Can we play the first full extent? I'm drunk. Oh my God, poor Mark Critch.
So here I am at Christian's Pub in St. John's, and you won't believe who I have here. Mark Critch here, and I've got Chef Lukey. And I got screeched in, so it's really amazing. But the funny thing is, so you think like it's amazing, you got screeched in, you hear all these facts about Newfoundland, and what the hell are they doing now? They're fighting about the facts about Newfoundland, and did they really get them right? So what's the discussion now, boys?
What we were talking about is St. John's, the oldest city in North America.
And there's some debate about that.
He was saying that it could be Missouri, but we firmly believe.
Yeah. That's just incredible. I see another super chat. Observer dude, £5. What if Rebel Media gets permanently removed from YouTube? I'll come back to that. Good question later. But let me tell you. So I'm coming into work today, and I'm looking at my Twitters, and there's this great Canadian environmental moment. Can you Google Duterte garbage war? Am I saying that last name right? The president of the Philippines, Duterte. I think I'm saying that right. Forgive me if I'm saying it wrong. So a couple of weeks ago, I'd love to show just a headline of Duterte threatening a garbage war with Canada. So let me, what time is it now? It's 12:42. I got time for a story, and I'll come around. So, recycling is mainly a PR scam, right? Like, you know that most of what you put in the recycling bin just winds up in the landfill or it's burned, right? But the original one, I want to show where he threatens Canada with a garbage war. So I want to quote Duterte, and there's probably even video of it. So all this recycle, and it's not very environmental because you have 2 trucks, you have 2 bins. I've seen as many as 5 bins. Do you really think that those 5 different sortations are maintained distinct and they're not just all thrown together in the same landfill? I mean, seriously, do you really think that? Now, I know that there's reasons to keep all 5 streams separate because that's 5 times as many government workers. That's 5 times as, thanks, I'll cover the video in a second. There's 5 times as many jobs, 5 times as many trucks, 5 times as many contracts. So I understand why the public sector would like it and why the lobbying sector and the government sector. But seriously, you have a garbage can, and then you have a garbage can in recycling, and then garbage can, paper recycling, glass recycling, metal recycling, organic. Like, I have seen 5 compartment garbage cans. I want you to answer me very honestly, do you really think those go to 5 different places? And if they did, and you know they don't, but if in your vain theory that they do you really think that having 5 trucks, 5 destinations, 5 processes is environmentally better than just dumping them all together? Like, do you really think that having 5 people touch your garbage in 5 different processing stages. Do you actually think that is better for the environment than just dumping it in an old abandoned mine? But we don't even do that. See, in Canada, we actually ship our garbage to Asia. How's that for environmentalism? Especially plastic, which, by the way, doesn't make sense to recycle anything other than metal from a net energy point of view, from a net resources point of view. The only material that makes sense to recycle is metal, because it's so hard to get metal. You have to dig into the rock and refine it and smelt it and mine it. Like, it's very hard to get a metal, right? But it's not hard to get paper. Recycling paper makes no sense. First of all, it's harmless. It's biodegradable. It goes back to nothing. It's organic. Second of all, it's renewable. Duh. You just grow more. There's no reason whatsoever to recycle paper. Plastic makes no sense either. The amount of energy to recycle plastic, it doesn't. The only thing that makes sense to recycle is metal, which is why people steal metal guardrails. They steal metal because it's actually so valuable. No one steals your junk because it's junk. Metal is not junk. Everything else you put in a recycling bin is junk. But because it's so uneconomic to recycle plastic, stay with me here. If you had a pound of metal, you'd have 10 people say, I'll take that pound of metal. If you had a pound of plastic, people say, get that garbage out of here. If you gave it to someone, they'd say, I don't know what to do with that. So they send it to China, where it's allegedly, you really think they're recycling there as opposed to just dumping it in the rivers there? So Canada, most Canadian cities, until last year when China said enough of your garbage, most Canadian cities would ship their plastic recycling to China. They would just dump it into the river. And for some reason, Canada sent 69 massive cargo containers, like, you know those really big things you put on freighter ships? 69 of them full of the grossest garbage. I got to do my research on the garbage a bit more, but it's like, I don't even want to gross you out, but like adult diapers and stuff. We sent that to the Philippines, and they didn't want it. And so it was sitting there in Manila, in the port, I'm not talking about 69 boxes, or 69 green bins or blue boxes. You know like those giant, I think they're called sea cans or something. You put them on the back of a semi, you put them on the back of a ship, you put them on the back of a train, like that, like a train car. 69 of them. And their president, what's his name, Duterte, am I saying that right? Said, I don't want that garbage. But Trudeau, this became a real diplomatic incident. And here, you got the clip of Duterte? Let's play the clip of him. This is a few weeks ago. Look at this.
Yung basura ng Canada, I want a boat prepared. I'll give a warning to Canada maybe next week that they better pull that thing out, or I will set sail doon sa Canada, ibuhos ko yung basura nila doon.
Pangalawa po, Mr. President, ay ang PhilHealth.
Why natin ang Canada? We'll declare war against them. Kaya man natin yan sila. Sa uli ko talaga, tingnan mo. Ikarga mo yan doon sa barko, load it, the containers to a ship, and I will advise Canada that your garbage is on the way. Prepare a grand reception. Eat it if you want to.
65 years, 18 earthquakes.
Napapayag. Kaya ikarga natin uli yan, pabalik sa kanila. Sabihin ko, prepare your and celebrate because your garbage is coming home.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Now, first of all, you gotta like that guy. I mean, he really, they call him the Trump of the Philippines. Like, I don't know him well. I know he's a tough guy, especially on crime, drugs, and terrorism. You've got to admit he's got that Trumpian sense of humor. Now, the guy next to him was sort of chuckling and smiling because, of course, he's not genuinely going to declare war. When he talked about a garbage war, I don't think he used the phrase garbage war here, but he's mad about all this garbage. And he was having some fun there. And he said, you're taking your garbage, I don't care what you do with it, you can eat it. You prepare your celebration for the garbage, the great return of your garbage. Can you go to my Twitter feed? And I tweeted the foreign minister of Philippines today, who showed the garbage being put on a ship. Just show that it did in fact happen, finally, deteriorating diplomatic relations. Philippines and Canada are good friends. Philippines is either the number 1 or number 2 source of immigrants to Canada, by the way. There's a ton of Filipino Canadians, and I think they're well loved in Canada. I mean, Philippines, I've never been, but it seems like a very friendly country. And I know I'm stereotyping because just every Filipino I know is a friendly person. So to get into a fight with the Philippines, yeah, can you blow that one up a bit? Can you, yeah. So that's the garbage. That's the garbage. Look at it. You see what I mean by big containers? Like that's a big, big container. 69 full of super gross, like adult diapers. I'm sorry, I even hate saying that. Like, imagine how gross that is. 69 of those are being put on a ship in Manila, and that ship set sail today. And okay, thanks. That's great. Now you saw Duterte say. You saw Duterte. Okay, it's just on a loop now. So take the vid down. You saw his joke. We're sending you the garbage. You can eat it if you want. You can celebrate it. Like, he was making fun. Like, no one wants this garbage, right? Canada didn't want it. We pretended it was being recycled, so we sent it to the Philippines. I don't know what went wrong there, but they didn't want it. They didn't want it, so they're sending back. That is very well. That garbage has a lot of frequent flyer points. That garbage could probably get a free trip to Mexico because of all the miles it's traveled. But of course, Mexico doesn't want our garbage either. But did you hear his joke? Did you hear what he said? You can celebrate its arrival. You can have a welcome reception. Now that was a joke, right? It was sort of a Trumpian joke. It was rough. It was tough. It was sort of mean, but also funny. You saw the guy next to him was sort of chuckling, right? But that's an insult, right? Like, you know that he meant that as an insult. Like he was basically saying, take your bloody garbage and you love it. You hug it. Like, he was mocking. Because you'd have to be really, really stupid. You'd have to be really oblivious to the world and yourself to actually do that, right? Like, you know that was a joke, right? Like, he didn't really mean for Canada's Environment Minister, Ole Yeller, Climate Barbie, drunk sorority girl. He didn't really mean it when he said celebrate it, right? You know he didn't mean it, right? Catherine McKenna didn't know he was joking. And so, hand to God, this morning, she tweeted a picture of that ship. Do you have the picture? Do you have her tweet? She tweeted this. Okay, there's my comment on top of it, but just click on her tweet. Click on her tweet alone. Anchors away! The containers of garbage have departed the Philippines and will arrive in Canada in 4 weeks. where the waste will be turned into energy that'll power homes in British Columbia. I love you guys so much. I really, really love you guys. I'm so drunk. I'm so drunk. They're sending the garbage. She's excited about the garbage. I swear to God, she is welcoming the garbage. That was a joke. When Duterte said you can welcome the garbage, he was joking. He was being a little bit mean. He didn't think we were so dumb. But he didn't make a drunk sorority girl of a cabinet minister who, if she's not manic and shouty, she's like miserable and crying, and she's drunk and she's tired and emotional. It's just a lot of crazy over here. I mean, really, who's the crazy one? Is the crazy one the slightly authoritarian president of the Philippines? Is he crazy? Or is Climate Barbie, who's just, I'm so excited about the 69 containers of garbage that we ship there and then ship. This is going to be great, you guys. I love you so much. Holy macaroni. A few super chats, let me catch up. MVP, I heard Trudeau is struggling in the polls. Are Canadians finally coming around? Yes. Trudeau's 12 or 13 points behind. I haven't seen him within 10 points in months. Yeah, the election's still 5 months away, but it doesn't look good for him. Primpal, oh wait, we ship it to Asia, they dump it in the ocean, wash it up on shore somewhere. We get outraged and ban straws. Gives you that green feeling. Oh yeah, Catherine McKenna, she wants to ban straws, plastic straws in Canada. Yeah, that ain't the problem, sister. And tell you what, maybe if you drank your beer through a straw, it would slow you down. And you get a little bit drunk a little more slowly, sister. Just slow down, slow down. Stop pounding the Sambuca, okay? Just go with the Diet Coke, or just like sparkling water, okay? Missing YouTuber cringe channel. If everybody got a hug, we wouldn't have these problems. You know what? I can't fault you there. If we all just went to the pub in St. John's and just like told each other how much we love each other, I think a lot of the world's problems would go away, including global warming. And I hope the Liberals run on that. Okay, so we got 3 minutes left, and I think, did I miss any? Oh, right. There was a super chat that I was asked earlier about YouTube censoring us. Yeah, it's a very real threat. And the reason I say that is because YouTube has censored our friends and allies. They've greatly restricted our friend Tommy Robinson in the UK. They shut down Alex Jones and InfoWars. I wouldn't call them friends, but I'd call them, they're either dissident journalists. They're probably one standard deviation edgier than us. But yeah, if they can shut him down, they can shut us down. The kind of depersoning of people, we're not as controversial, but there's a spectrum. I mean, they started with the most controversial, and then they're moving, and they're moving the Overton window. And absolutely they'll come for us, absolutely. And most of the media party won't care, they hate us. They don't understand that their entire industry depends on freedom of speech because they just hate the fact. I mean, the thing about free speech, it's a gift you have to give your enemies if you want it for yourself. Because what comes around goes around. If it's okay to censor people who say things that are controversial, well then the only question is, who is the target today? Because everything is controversial to someone's eye. Fraser McBurney, before you sign off, Ezra, great job covering the EU elections. Really enjoyed your coverage. Well, thanks very much. Thank you for that. I was over there a little bit, but of course Jessica Svietonievsky of our team covered it in great detail. If you go to tommyreports.com, she did about 24 videos from the campaign. Well, my friends, it's 12:59 Eastern Time. which is almost 6 p.m. in the United Kingdom. And I'd have to check what time it is on the garbage ship, the HMCS Catherine McKenna, that boat full of crap that is slowly making its way across the Pacific Ocean back to the place from whence it came. That is perhaps the most traveled garbage in the world. I could make a very rude joke about Catherine McKenna's own jet setting, but I won't, because that's too mean. Folks, I've enjoyed being with you today. Tune in tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern when I have my daily show. And feel free to poke around the rest of our website. We've got some great videos going on these days. I hope you enjoy them. On behalf of all of us here at Rebel World Headquarters, to you at home, goodbye, and keep fighting for freedom.